You wake up tired, even after a full night's sleep. The sound of the alarm isn't just annoying. It's a stab that reminds you the day has barely started, and you already wish it was over. You head to work with a knot in your stomach, praying it won't be another day of torture. And no, it's not laziness. It's not a lack of discipline. It's work stress, a silent enemy hiding behind endless meetings, abusive bosses, and impossible goals. I'm not here to tell you to think positive or that it's all about your mindset. That's motivational garbage. Work stress isn't solved with calendar quotes. It's faced by understanding that it can destroy your health, your mind, your relationships, and your entire life. And the most brutal part? While you're falling apart, the company doesn't stop. It replaces you and keeps moving forward. This video isn't a feel-good speech. It's a warning. Here, we're going to talk without filters, because what's at stake isn't your productivity, it's your life. Work stress doesn't start in your office or in front of your computer. It starts much earlier, when you're lying in bed on Sunday night and you can't sleep because your mind is stuck in a loop of worry. You think about the meeting that's waiting for you, about the endless tasks, about that boss who seems to enjoy humiliating his team. You close your eyes, but your body is on high alert, as if you're about to enter a war you already know you're going to lose. Monday comes, and the simple act of commuting becomes a ritual of anxiety. It doesn't matter if you're driving, on public transport, or walking. Every step takes you closer to an environment you didn't choose but consume as if it were a sentence. And when you arrive, the first thing you see isn't people. It's masks. Co-workers faking smiles, bosses faking leadership, companies faking concern for your well-being. The invisible origin of work stress lies in that brutal contradiction. They demand passion, but treat you like a number. They ask for commitment but give you no security. They sell you the idea that we're a family, but that family abandons you the moment you're no longer useful. It's a system that feeds on your exhaustion, that normalizes working while tired, sick, or broken, while applauding you for your so-called dedication. This isn't about you being weak. It's about the modern work environment being designed to squeeze you to the limit. Endless meetings, impossible deadlines, disproportionate workloads. None of this is accidental. It's part of a culture that glorifies productivity over health. And the cruelest part? Most of the time, you don't even notice it. You believe the problem is you, when in reality, the problem is the system you're trapped in. Work stress begins as a shadow, almost imperceptible, but it grows into a monster that follows you everywhere. It doesn't respect schedules, weekends, or vacations. It's there when you're having dinner with your family, when you're trying to sleep, when your phone buzzes after hours, and you feel that stab of anxiety. That's the true origin of stress, not in a single task, but in the total invasion of your life. Work stress isn't just being tired or having a bad day at the office. It's a silent bomb exploding inside you, little by little. Your body starts sending signals you ignore because the routine and the pressure convince you that feeling like this is normal. But it's not normal. That constant headache, the gastritis that won't go away, the insomnia that steals your nights, all of it is your body screaming that it can't take any more. Your heart races. You sweat for no reason. You feel like the air won't reach your lungs. These are symptoms most people downplay, but they're the daily price work stress makes you pay. Every minute under that tension is damage piling up inside you, and your mind doesn't escape either. Anxiety becomes your shadow. You think about tasks even when you're off the clock. You feel guilty for resting, terrified of making mistakes, and emotionally drained to the point where you don't know whether to cry or go numb. Work stress steals your clarity, makes you irritable, makes you forget things, and slowly turns you into someone you no longer recognize. The most brutal part is how this suffering gets normalized. Society tells you it's part of being productive, that this is adult life. And you, trapped in that lie, learn to live with the pain, to hide your breakdowns behind a fake smile, to medicate yourself with coffee, pills, or alcohol, just to survive a little longer. But the truth is, every day of work stress is one less day of a full life. The real cost isn't in the overtime you work or the goals you never reach. The real cost is in your mental and physical health, in how your body deteriorates while your mind shatters into pieces. And the cruelest part, when you collapse, your position will still be there, your company will keep going, but you'll be left broken. We live in a time where slavery doesn't need chains, shackles, or whips. Today, slavery wears a tie, hides in flexible schedules that never end, in temporary contracts that make you feel replaceable, in bosses who call exploitation passion for work. And the most perverse part is that most people accept it as if it were normal. We've been sold the idea that being busy is the same as being successful, that if you work 12 or 14 hours a day, you're a warrior to admire, that if you answer emails at midnight, you're the perfect example of commitment. But the truth is, that's not success. It's exhaustion. That's not commitment. It's psychological slavery disguised as love for the job. Modern work culture glorifies sacrifice without questioning its price. They make you feel proud of not having time for your family, of not seeing your kids grow up, of not having a life of your own. And you, trapped in that narrative, start to believe it's okay to lose your health for a paycheck. That normalization is dangerous because it turns the inhumane into routine, the unfair into the everyday landscape. Work stress feeds directly on this collective lie. They teach you to stay quiet, to smile, to be thankful for having a job, even if that job is killing you. And if you complain, they label you lazy, weak, or not cut out for the real world. But the truth is, the real world is sick, and it convinces us that being sick along with it is normal. Modern slavery doesn't need visible chains. It's in the obligation to smile when you're broken, in the need to always be available, in the constant fear of losing the little you have. And while you wear yourself out, companies profit from your time, your energy, and your life. That's what we've normalized as a society, an invisible slavery, accepted and even celebrated. Work stress doesn't end when you leave the office. It doesn't stay on your desk or shut down with your computer. It follows you home like a shadow that invades everything. You arrive exhausted, with no energy and no patience, and the ones who pay the price aren't your bosses or your coworkers, they're the people you love the most. Your partner notices your absence even when you're physically there. You sit in front of them, but your mind is still trapped in tasks, in emails, in everything you didn't manage to finish. Conversations get shorter, heavier, until the only thing you share are tense silences. Stress doesn't just steal your time, it steals your intimacy. Your kids, if you have them, feel that disconnection too. They see you tired, irritable, unwilling to play, with no space to listen to them. They grow up thinking your bad mood is normal or worse, believing they're the cause of your frustration. Work stress doesn't just destroy your health. It fractures the bonds that should give you strength to keep going. Friends stop calling because you're always busy, always buried in work. Plans get canceled, hangouts postponed, until one day you realize your circle has shrunk to coworkers you don't even want to be around. Isolation becomes routine, and you mistake surviving for living. The cruelest part is that work stress transforms your home, the place that should be your refuge, into an extension of your job. You bring home the frustration, the anxiety, the exhaustion, and you unload them on those who aren't to blame. That's how unnecessary arguments, emotional distance, and silent resentments are created, wounds that over time become hard to heal. The impact on your personal relationships is the clearest proof that work stress isn't just an individual problem. It's a poison that seeps into your entire life. And when you finally look around, you realize you haven't just lost energy or health. You're also losing the people who matter most. When work stress becomes unbearable, many look for a quick exit. Not a solution, just a distraction. That's when the false escapes appear. alcohol that helps you relax after a long day, drugs that promise to disconnect you, food you use to fill the emptiness, or endless hours scrolling on your phone trying to forget reality. The problem is that all these escapes are lies disguised as relief. Alcohol doesn't silence your anxiety, it just numbs it for a few hours, only to bring it back multiplied. Food doesn't heal your emptiness, it just covers it up until guilt kicks in. Social media doesn't disconnect you. If anything, it drowns you deeper in comparison and dissatisfaction. The self-deception is believing those patches are saving you. Believing that with a drink, a show, or an impulsive purchase, you're regaining control. But in reality, you're only stretching out your suffering. It's like putting painkillers on an open wound. The pain fades for a moment, but the infection spreads. Work stress becomes even more dangerous when it convinces you that you can handle it that way. Because every time you hide in a false escape, you give more power to the system that's breaking you down. What feels like temporary relief slowly turns into a silent addiction that ties you even tighter to the same life that's killing you. These escapes aren't freedom, they're invisible chains. They make you believe you're surviving, when in truth, you're just prolonging your agony. And the more you rely on them, the harder it becomes to face the real root of the problem. A job that's consuming your health, your time, and your identity. The real danger isn't just in stress itself, but in how you disguise it, in how you dress it up so you can keep functioning. Because sooner or later, the truth explodes. You can't numb yourself forever. And when that moment comes, you realize you're not only exhausted, you're also trapped in habits that now control you. Your body always warns you, but you insist on ignoring it. Chest pain? You blame it on fatigue. Insomnia? You excuse it as too much on your mind. Anxiety? You normalize it as just part of the job, and so you keep going, convinced that pushing a little harder is the right thing to do. But what you don't understand is that your body and mind aren't infinite. They have a breaking point, and when you hit it, the crash is brutal. The price of not stopping is burnout, that physical and emotional collapse that leaves you empty, unable to get up, with your mind shut down and your body defeated. It's a panic attack in the middle of the office, an unexpected blackout, a depression that drags you under while no one notices. Work stress doesn't kill you in one blow. It kills you slowly, until one day you simply can't go on. The cruelest part is that when you reach that point, you finally see how indifferent the system really is. Your boss won't save you. Your company won't stop because you broke down. They'll keep moving, they'll replace you, and what's left behind is your wrecked health and a life in pieces. To the workplace, you're just a number that can be swapped out. To you, you're the only one paying the full price. Not stopping means turning your life into an unpayable debt. Every extra hour, every sleepless night, every lost weekend. It all piles up, and the bill comes in the form of chronic illness, heart problems, anxiety disorders, or deep depression. And the price isn't just yours to pay. Your family, your relationships, and your future pay it too. Work stress is like a rope that tightens a little more each day. And you decide, either you let go in time, or eventually it snaps. And when it snaps with you caught inside. The biggest lie of work stress is making you believe you have no way out, that quitting isn't an option, that setting boundaries is dangerous, that resting is a luxury you can't afford. The system wants you convinced that the only way to survive is to keep obeying, to keep sacrificing your life for a paycheck. But that's a lie. Breaking the cycle doesn't always mean handing in your resignation overnight. It means, first, opening your eyes, recognizing that your health, your peace of mind, and your relationships are worth more than any paycheck. It means understanding that you don't have to work yourself into the ground to prove your worth. Setting boundaries is an act of rebellion in a world that glorifies exploitation. It's daring to say no to unpaid overtime, to midnight messages, to the absurd pressure of always producing more. It's remembering that you are a human being before you are a worker. And even if society labels you lazy or uncommitted, the truth is you're defending the only thing that truly belongs to you: your life. Of course, it's not easy. Maybe you depend on that job. Maybe you're afraid of losing stability. Maybe you think no one else will hire you. But every step you take toward reclaiming your dignity is a step toward freedom. Looking for new opportunities, learning new skills, starting something on your own, asking for help. All of it is part of breaking free from the cycle of exhaustion. Breaking the cycle is an act of courage, because in a world where most people choose to endure, you choose to protect yourself. And when you take that step, you discover something brutal. Your job doesn't define your existence. It isn't your identity. Your life is worth more than any contract, any boss, any company. And once you understand that, you finally stop just surviving, and you start living. One of the greatest poisons of work stress is the lie of success. They tell you success is climbing the ladder, earning more money, getting a bigger office, or being praised by your boss. But what's the point of all that if you come home destroyed, if you can't sleep, if your body is slowly shutting down? That's not success. That's selling your entire life in exchange for an empty medal. Real success isn't about collecting titles or bragging about overtime. Real success is having the freedom to enjoy your time, taking care of your health, having the energy to be with your family, living without work consuming you. Success is being able to shut down your computer and feel peace, not guilt. It's having a job that adds to your life, not one that robs it from you. The problem is we were taught to measure ourselves by standards that were never ours. We were made to believe that constant sacrifice is honorable, that the more you suffer, the more you're worth. And that's the trap that keeps millions stuck, chasing external recognition at the cost of losing everything inside. Redefining success means breaking that narrative. It means daring to say your mental health is more important than a promotion, that your peace matters more than a bonus, that your time is worth more than any meeting. It's understanding that working to live is very different from living to work. Because at the end of the day, no one on their deathbed regrets not spending more hours at the office. But many regret losing years with their family, with their friends, with themselves. And that's the real cost of work stress, when you don't decide to redefine what success truly means in your life. Work stress isn't a trend, it isn't an excuse, and it's not just a complaint. It's a silent disease that's destroying lives every single day. And the most dangerous thing is believing that enduring it is normal, that staying silent is the right thing to do. It's not. Every hour you spend under that weight without putting a stop to it is an hour of your life you'll never get back. Your health, your mind, your relationships, none of that is worth less than a job. Work is replaceable. You are not. The system can function without you, but your life cannot function without your well-being. That's the truth most people choose to ignore. Today, you have two paths. Keep running in the cycle of exhaustion until your body collapses, or decide that your life is above any boss, any contract, any company. The choice is yours, but so are the consequences. So ask yourself, do you want your legacy to be remembered as someone who worked themselves into destruction, or as someone who had the courage to say, enough? If this video opened your eyes, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone you know is at their breaking point. Someone who needs to hear they're not alone. Subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell, because here, we don't sugarcoat things. We tell the truths others prefer to hide. Remember this, your life is worth infinitely more than any job. Don't forget to choose yourself, because no one else will do it for you.